It's showtime.
A lot of chaos out there, inflation higher than it's been probably in your lifetime. Nuclear war, a very real possibility, everyone agrees. You'd think the White House should be paying attention to these things, but Joe Biden is not. He's got different priorities. He just invited a man dressed as a woman to the White House to pretend that he's actually a woman.
Here we go.
Because in this regime, they have to make you say things you know are not true in order to completely subjugate and control you. Now, the guy's name is Dylan Mulvaney. He's popular on TikTok. Here's some of his work.
Day one of being a girl, and I have already cried 3 times. I wrote a scathing email that I did not send. I ordered dresses online that I couldn't afford. And then when someone asked me how I was, I said, I'm fine, when I wasn't fine. Day 3 of being a girl, and I've already become a bimbo. The bimbos are bimboing. I forgot that my crotch doesn't look like other women's crotches sometimes, because mine doesn't look like a little Barbie pocket. And we all just normalize women having bulges sometimes.
Who are these sick people?
So it's a humiliation exercise. Obviously, he's giving the finger to actual women. Day 1 of being a girl, I cried and bought clothes online. Is any self-described feminist going to point out how insulting this is? No, of course not. They're all cowed into silence. So this week, that guy spoke one-on-one with the President of the United States. And in that conversation, the president, the guy got 81 million votes without going outside, said that the official position of the U.S. government is to support child mutilation in the name of something called gender-affirming care. Watch.
Here we go.
Mr. President, this is my 221st day of publicly transitioning.
God love you.
That don't make no sense.
Thank you. Do you think states should have a right to ban gender-affirming health care?
I don't think any state or anybody should have the right to do that. As a moral question and as a legal question. I just think it's wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong not to mutilate children. But again, the whole thing is an insulting caricature of femininity and womanhood. And so we thought it might be interesting to talk to an actual woman, a very brave one. Riley Gaines just graduated from the University of Kentucky, and while she was there, the NCAA forced her to compete against a man dressed as a female swimmer, and she didn't like it, and she was brave enough to say so. She joins us again tonight. We're always happy to have her. Riley, thanks so much for coming on. Now, you are a woman, so you just learned from that guy that once you're a girl, you cry a lot and pay too much for clothes online. Would you say that's the sum total of womanhood in your experience as a woman?
First of all, he doesn't use the term womanhood. He uses the term girlhood. How troubling is that? But, you know, when I first see this, my first initial thought is this not akin to blackface?
Yeah, exactly.
The African-American community would, and rightfully so, should be outraged if I put on makeup and came on here and identified as an African-American and created TikToks called Days of Blackhood. Let's call what Dylan's doing womanhood. And that's exactly what this is. This is a man with a fetish, who is gleefully putting together all the stereotypes of women, like makeup and the outfits and having breasts and carrying around tampons and having menstrual cycles and all these things, and using that to define what we are and what we stand for. And womanhood is not and should not be a mental disorder suffered by men.
Well, this is a mental disorder, and that, you know, that's whatever, go do your thing. But for the President of the United States to be affirming this and looking into the camera and saying anyone who disagrees with this or refuses to play along with this grotesque and repulsive charade is somehow immoral, like, how demeaning to the country is that?
It's so demeaning. We have women out here who have accomplished amazing things, women developing cancer studies and research and vaccines and things like that, but they're not being recognized for what they've accomplished. Instead, we're recognizing a man who is claiming to be a woman and know womanhood better than what real women do.
Seriously.
I mean, it's pretty funny that, like, you know, you spent, we had an amazing hour-long conversation where you talked about spending your life training to be a college swimmer, and then at the last possible moment, some dude sweeps in to push you out of the way. All the men are here, and call it a victory for feminism.
Right. And that's what we've turned to as a country, and we can't be surprised we're here. We've put ourselves here. But I think women are starting to realize that this is wrong. Women are mad. You know, there was that boycott to Ulta. If you guys have seen the videos, I encourage everyone to watch. They have 2 men on there talking about what it is to be a woman, and women are recognizing that this isn't what defines us.
Yeah, I mean, I think if people put up with this, you know, and this is, of course, the whole point, put up with anything, you know, literally anything, so probably shouldn't. Riley Gaines, thank you again for your bravery and how clear you are in explaining your views.
Thank you. Thanks, Tucker.